Hey folks, welcome back to Real Estate Investing Unmasked. Today we're going to talk about the current environment. I have a friend who reached out to me and said, "Hey, I've got this property and all my partners want to sell it, but I think this property is a great property. What do I do?" So my friend comes to me and she says, "Look, a year ago we bought this property. It's an Airbnb. It's in a vacation resort area and it's doing fantastic. It's earning about $5,000 net per month. That's one property, net $5,000 a month. And this is during COVID. The property, they bought it for $360,000. It's doing very well. And the partners are saying it's too much work to do Airbnb. So I do not have an Airbnb. I have not sold or rented out anything Airbnb, but I have rented an Airbnb and I have plenty of people that I've reached out to that do Airbnb, and I'm going to talk to you about it today. If you have a property that's netting $5,000 a month over the mortgage, this is not the time to sell, especially at a property that is at the $360,000 level. $60,000 a year in positive net cash flow for a $360,000 property means you're paying off that house, that property, in 7 years. 7 years, people. That's a huge payback. And that's with a zero down. In this case, they put a lot more down. But this property is doing phenomenally. Now, here's the issue. The people who are running the property are kind of tired of running the property. They're older, they've just retired, and they're ready to have some time where they can just enjoy life. Instead of enjoying life, they're spending time managing the property. So when it comes to Airbnb, the property management fees are different than if you just have a long-term renter. Property managers, like I manage a property and I charge 10%, a little bit over 10% actually, for the property that I manage. And for most landlords, most property managers, they don't charge that much. They're usually between 6 and 10%, depending on how many properties you have to manage. When it comes to Airbnb, it's a lot more involved. You have to make sure that you got the booking straight. You got to make sure it's cleaned before each person comes in. And you have to make sure that when the people leave, they don't leave anything behind and they don't break anything and they don't steal anything. So there's a whole mess of things that you got to check to make sure to have your Airbnb taken care of. In this situation, I recommended to this person, instead of selling the property, which is a cash cow right now, hire a property manager to manage the Airbnb. Now, property managers with Airbnb is usually closer to 20 to 25%. So for those of you who are looking for a job to do, maybe you're out of work right now, that would be a great way to get in and make some money. When you're talking $60,000 a year net, you know that they're pulling in closer to $80,000 a year gross. And it's probably a little bit more than that, but let's call it $80,000 to make it easy. So for $80,000 a year, you as a property manager, you want to charge 20%, which is a deal in the Airbnb market. That means you're going to earn $16,000 a year just by managing this property. That's a little bit less than $1,500 a month. That means you, if you wanted to start your own business property manager, you could make a pretty decent chunk of cash just on one property. Bring in a couple of properties and you're solid. Now, Airbnb makes it easy for you to go ahead and do the bookings. It's not that difficult to set it up on when you want to have it out, when you want to take it down. And as far as getting it cleaned up every time, the people that I know that have had the most success with Airbnb as far as their cleaning have two companies that do their cleaning, and they alternate week after week. So one week, this cleaning company takes care of the property. The next week, this cleaning company cleans the property. So if you have 3 people that moved in and out during the week on this week, well, then they get 3 times the cleaning costs on this week. If maybe one moved in and out and they rented it the whole week or whatever, then this cleaning company gets it. But the reason why this has proven so successful is because the people who own the property, anytime this company says, "Hey, we can't get to it this week," this company usually jumps in and says, "We're good to go. We'll take up the slack." So you always have a backup in those situations. The other thing is, if you have more than one property and they're in the same area, you can have this company take care of this property while this company takes care of the other property on the same week. And so they can just alternate and they'll get used to the same properties over and over again. And if anything happens where, hey, you're just not doing what you're supposed to do, you can always nix a cleaning company and hire another one. But in the interim, you've got somebody else that's already taken care of the property. So it's a fantastic way to do it. So in the situation for the property manager, I explained to this person who's asking me and telling me their concern. I said, I would not sell this property if I were you. I'd hire a property manager, pay the $16,000 or so, and now you got your $34,000 a year in net cash. That's still just under $3,000 a month. And now you don't have the headaches. You don't have to book it. You don't have to worry about cleaning it. You don't have to worry about anything but fixing it up. And if you get a good property manager, they will also take care of the fixing up the property while you're out. So the other options that I mentioned to this person, so here's the situation. I've got somebody who bought the property using their credit. I got somebody who put the money down. They had the money. And I have a third person involved that also put money down. The two people that put money down, they bought it under the name of the one person who had the credit. And right now, both the people that put the money down want to get out. The person that's got the credit says, this looks like a really good deal. What I suggest in these cases is find a way to sign a contract so that you can buy out the people that had their money down. Do it over time. If their main concern was they don't like dealing with the property and all the things that are involved with it, take that pain away from them. Make them a deal. Zero down and just say, I'll make monthly payments. Find out what the equity is, split it between the two of them, find out what their down payment was, split it between the two of them. Whatever the value of the property is, subtract 6% minimally, because that's what it's going to cost for a real estate agent to get involved. There are other fees that are going to be involved as well. However, in this case, the person who bought it or used their credit, it's already in their name. So to be able to take the other people off, it isn't that hard. It's only a couple $100s to remove them off a title. And so what I suggest in this case is reach out to these people, see if you can do a promissory note, something that maybe has a balloon, but then take the payments and just pay them off as fast as you can. Don't keep anything for profit. And within just a couple of years, they will be paid off, and then you will be able to reap the benefit of those payments coming in with Airbnb. And Airbnb fees are only going to go up. So it's a great property, great area. If you plan it right, you're not going to have to do anything on your own. Have the property manager take care of it. It works beautifully and has for years, guys. Airbnbs bring in a lot of profit if you do it right. Anyway, guys, I hope I inspired you with something in this video. If I did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I got a lot of stuff coming, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.